Hello there and welcome to an episode of Planetary Annihilation Titans with me, Dan. This is a 1v1 cast between Combat, which I believe is Pyrrhic Victory, and Mournful Eagle. Now, Pyrrhic is, or Combat should I say, is the #1 ranked, and she is actually the only star ranked player in the game at the moment. I'm not really sure what's going on with the ranking systems. I guess it just needs more players getting up the ranks. And Mournful Eagle, as in the last video, is high in platinum, I believe. So what we've got so bots, air, bots, metal, air, standard. This map is in the tempo system. This is the tempo planet, and there's a rest moon as well. So it'll be interesting to see if anyone takes that. So we've got bots, metal, air in coming from Combat as well, but to be honest, she's behind, I believe, on the build. I know it's more metal, definitely more metal. Straight with the boom bots. We saw this last game as well, which is interesting. I don't know if this is a new tactic or whether I've just missed it before, but straight out with the boom bots, try and get some of those fabrication units early on. But the problem with this fabrication unit, Mournful's fabricators are all still in the base with some docks coming out. So obviously Pyrrhic is, or Combat, sorry Pyrrhic, is scouting around at the moment. There's a boombot right up here, which is a weird place to put one. I guess that's just sitting and waiting for some fabricators. Mournful has gone backwards rather than forwards. I'm assuming going down to these four, or maybe these four over here. And Combat has done exactly the same. Going backwards, although not going down this time. We're going up. So that's different. Going up here as well to these two metals, whereas Mournful has not. So those two there. Try and get my bearings, not quite on the axis here. So now we've got some docks coming out. We've got air flying around. Looks like Pyrrhic Combat is higher on metal, not as high on energy though. One power station down, but it looks like they're not crashing on metal as yet, or energy should I say. The army values are near enough identical at the moment. So we've got some docks coming in. Mournful starting to push out the docks. We've gone into a second docks factory, bots factory, and we're also reclaiming those trees to boost metal income. Meanwhile, we've got an Icarus laser energy thing plane taking out Pyrrhic's fabricators. One still survives though. I've got a bit of a docks front war going on here in the middle. Now all the trees are on fire. What have you done? Call the fire brigade. The Pyrrhic is still, should I say, Combat is still building out. So we've got double air from Combat, and we've got double bots as well. And Mournful have gone for exactly the same. So responding in the same way. Air's going to play quite a lot, I think, in this game by the looks of things. Combat is actually putting a single laser turret up right in the middle here, so she is going to try and claim these four metals, I can see. Also pushing down here, I'm assuming, yeah, Mournful's doing exactly the same, although there is a random boombot sitting here from Pyrrhic waiting to hit these three. The station is really, that's a really interesting tactic. I'm guessing till later in the game when she expects fabricators to be coming down here. Be interested to see if they actually move throughout the game, or whether they just stay there. This is now Combat's completely. To be honest, this centre, I suspect a factory might go up near here as well. 4 fabrication pushing through. And the metal difference is huge now. Mournful is really not chasing the metal in the same way that Combat is. But we do have some fabricators getting these two here. We've got 4 here. But that metal deficit is going to play a game, I reckon, later game. So we've got a bot factory right down here from combat. Exactly the same as the bot factories that are down here, although Mournful has 2 further south. How many factories we've got? So we've got, Combat Ferric has got more fabricators. Mournful's got 1 more factory online. And that air is strong. And we want, they just get, is there just bots everywhere? Is that what's going on? It looks like Combat is creating has redirected all the units to pool down here from the factories. Okay, the Grenadiers have come out. These are really good at taking out laser turrets because they're out of range. And actually, since they've had a buff, I find them incredibly difficult to play against. People who really use Grenadiers effectively, I don't know what to do. I flap as soon as the Grenadiers start coming in because I don't know how to respond to it other than with more Grenadiers or T2. But yeah, this is actually really good play from Mournful. This will probably push, as long as they don't just run into all of this, be able to get rid of all of this area. Yeah, and then if they could bring a fabricator, if Mournful could bring a fabricator over, then that could be theirs. Going into the boats now, whereas Ferric has gone into, I didn't see that, into boats as well. Around the back of the map, there's actually quite a lot of metal in the sea. So air fabricators getting all of these metal spots is really, really good, really clever. There's quite a lot of metal spots down here as well, and Combat Ferric is starting to really grab the metal. The deficit between the two, it's quite a lot. It's fluctuating around a bit, but yeah, it's they're really, she's really ahead on both metal and power, so that obviously gives more the ability to build quicker and more. This is dangerous. All of this is going to push back Mournful from this edge. Also, they've got 4 or 5 fabricators here, some power. The Barracuda sub, isn't it? Yeah, so the submarines, they can actually take out these fabricators, I don't believe. But we've got a Piranha, really small little fast boat. And then what else we've got here? We've got Narwhals, which are really good. They've got subs, anti-air and cannons as well, so that's a really good versatile unit. This whole area has gone to combat now. I have to take my hat off to people that play at this level because there's so many fronts they're fighting on. We've got Mournful pushing in some groups of units, which will be a lot better than Combat's individual little bits of units. That is a shame that Mournful stopped pushing forwards because this fabrication area, although there is a double laser turret there, but they could have potentially taken out all these fabricators. We've got metal going up in the centre as well as anti-air and things to try and stop that from going. This area in the sea has gone. Combat has managed to get that, and the sea looks like is probably theirs. Although we do have some dock trading going on around the back of Combat's base. Hopefully not running through and actually taking out this metal. And Combat's air could probably be mobilised here, but they're obviously focusing elsewhere. But we do... Oh, Commander's in the sea. This is a dangerous place to be for this commander. They're obviously trying to build... if I was playing, I would just retreat from the sea at this point and try and take the land. Obviously, I'm not playing. So, but they're like... Ferric has quite a lot. Or was it only the 2 factories? Only 2 naval factories. But that's 2 more than what Mournful Eagle has. So some dock trading still going on at the front here. Managed to take out most of that metal. Obviously the air got in play. T2 bots going up for combat now. Is T2 going up for Mournful? Yeah, T2's already out for Mournful. Interesting. Straight in with the fabricators. I'm assuming he wants to get on the T2 metal and energy and all that kind of stuff. All that good stuff. Docks raiding coming in here. Be interested to see where they're going. Managed to get a fabricator. managed to pick off this. This Air Force, though, is brutal. Got 13 bombers in there. That's going to make handiwork of any ground. There was some T2 slammers in there as well. Mines have also gone up for Pyrrhic combat, which is really good locations. And if Mournful is not careful and doesn't put anything to detect those mines in the army groups, then they're going to go. This Air Force, I mean, I've heard on here before, if you dominate air, then you're likely to win. So it's interesting to see here. But this picking off the bombers, though, the combat really needs to save those. There's some bombers going around here, taking out some units. They're all dead. But what is going on around here? The sea is still trying to be taken by Mournful. I know in the last game Mournful did quite a good job at the sea. Pushing forwards with more fabricators. It's mainly T1 bots, docks, that kind of thing. This bombers, though, this is a real threat, and I think Mournful really needs to respond with some more air factories here. Try and get a lot more air defense going on, because this is just going to be a massive problem. I don't know if there's a way you can defend like heavy bombing raids with just well, especially the T1 anti-air spinners. Are they called spinners? Stingers. Spinners in the vehicle one. Yeah, I don't think this group of units will be eaten by the bombers. Well, there's only 7 bombers in this group now. Anti-air going up over here, rushing an anti-air up, seeing if they can save this area. Is that a T2 metal? Yeah, T2 metal has been globally applied onto all of the metal spots around the map by Mournful. Okay, we've got a sort of a coordinated effort going on up here. There's a lot of bots. Is there any mine detection? There's no mine detection in this group. I mean, the air's probably going to come in here and sort it out anyway. But yeah, this all will be just taken out by mines. And if Mournful's not looking, then it's going to be bad luck. Luckily, they saw Pyrrhic's group of units there. So Pyrrhic has the air game completely. What's the army values at? Yeah, Pyrrhic's got, she's got a huge amount more. 131 army value. And starting to take out these areas around the back now. The sea is just combat. Pyrrhic. Combat. Pyrrhic. I apologise. I have finding it difficult to adjust to name changes. The commanders in the sea. We've got some torpedoes here, which should be able to take out this Orca destroyer. Just. So yeah, I guess more torpedo launchers is the key, I think, here. But this metal advantage of combat is just going to really play into their favour, I think. It's a bit scrappy, but it feels like combat is pushing through. Now, I don't actually know who's winning. This is just the last game that I could see between a plat and a higher ranked game from Pyrrhic or combat. So I don't actually know who's going to win, but I've got a feeling it's going to be combat at this point. We've got trains they're all T1, but docks can be devastating to local economy. If they can just take out, focus on this laser turret, take out the laser turret, and then they can focus on the economy. Boats are pushing heavily into base now, seeing if they can just hold off. Mournful knows that the sea game is lost, so they are just pushing out destroyers, which have a much longer range. So that's the range of destroyers. Just pushing out destroyers and then hoping that the torpedoes. Of course, I forgot about this. Piranhas are actually hover boats, so the torpedo launchers can't actually get piranhas. So that's a really good play to bring those in here. We've got lots of T1. Oh, rich pickings coming around here, but this air. God, it's a struggle to keep going, to keep seeing what's going on. It feels like Mournful is actually just living off trees, to be honest. The metal is T2 in base now, is it? Is it T2 metal? Where are we? Yeah, all T2 metals around here. But there's quite a few metal spots that Mournful has that isn't T2 yet. Yeah, T2 boats is going up. Get some T2 destroyers coming out, and the range will take out all of this because they have an extremely long range. Of course, there's hover boats as well, T2 hover boats. Pyrrhic combat has really managed to create quite a defensive line of units. Mines playing heavily into favour. Mournful, you'll probably watch this video and you'll probably know, you'll be kicking. We've got Stitches can see mines, of course, so this group of Stitches that are eating the trees, obviously now, are they going into this group? So yeah. Oh no, are they reclaiming? I don't know. But the fact that Stitches can see mines will mean that all of the other units here can as well. But this bombing raid is just going to... Is there T2 air in here as well? Yes, T2 air gone up. I'm not paying attention to what's going up. We've got orbital going out. T2 air has gone up. And we've got some humming horseflies. Are they called horseflies? Yeah, horseflies in there as well. And all the bombers are gone though. But we do have some T2, and yeah, that air game is strong. We've got T2 boats have probably gone up by now as well. And what we're getting out, kaijus. So kaijus are hover boats, so they can, you know, be made in here, and they will go onto land, and they are incredibly powerful. And quite frankly, Mournful doesn't stand a chance. And I kind of hope that they don't GG, but usually these top ranked players GG out of games rather than seeing it to the end. I personally like being destroyed to the end. This unit's, yeah, Mournful has just realised what's going on. If you put a line of units, it will much quicker take out than a group of units. So if you put a line of units and then push a group into them, the line will be able to take them out a lot quicker because there's no splash damage and all that kind of thing. But this, yeah, these horseflies are just eating up the metal. Look, they're just like machine guns out the front. Anti-air, but they'll take down the anti-air. I mean, Mournful must know at this point that the jib is up, so to speak. Orbital from both teams now, both players. But really, we've just got probes going up with vision. Oh, was that the radar? Hermes. I think that's the radar one. I can't quite remember which one's which. There's one that provides ground vision. There's one that just gives radar. I mean, yeah, combat has got this quite heavily now. I can't imagine that Mournful's coming out of this. Got kaijus just pecking off. But Mournful has put some laser turrets at the edge here, so that's going to be taking out the boats if they're in range. But this kaiju, is that an orca? What is that? Yeah, it's just a Norse, just a T1 orca is able to take out all of the outrange everything. So economies, I mean, let's have a look at the army values now. It is almost double from Pyrrhic to Mournful. The air just gets absolutely destroyed, absolutely eaten. T2 bots have come out now from Mournful though, which is quite impressive considering the metal and yeah. So the T2 Storm anti-airs are in these units now, which is a really good move, and I wonder if that's why they've gone T2 vehicles. Also because they're incredibly powerful. But this is a lot of docks, 173 docks. Let's have a look at them. And of course, one of the changes, one of the balance changes is that the Blue Hawk's missiles are no longer intercepted as heavily by T2 snipers from anymore. T2 snipers used to pretty much one-on-one a Blue Hawk's missile, whereas now it's a disadvantage. I think missile bots are actually pretty good now. There is a T2 fabricator sitting in there. This is interesting. Our kaijus are on land. I repeat. GG. Mournful has given up. I mean, that the metal deficit at the end there was ginormous. It's a huge difference. So we can see that Ferric really did. Mines, I never play mines ever in this game, and they are really good. They're really effective. So I probably should. Let's just have a really quick look at the stats. If the game comes to an end, can I click this menu? Game stats. Wow, look at this unit count. I wonder if that was all T1 docs that just boosted. There were evens here, and then Ferric/Combat decided she would just go for it with the units. Factory count has just slowly been ahead. Metal production has obviously been ahead. Yeah, that was Ferric's game from the beginning, really. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. That was interesting. Like and subscribe and all that jazz, and I'll see you all later. Bye.